When a lot of people come up to me and they tell me, they say, well, Mike, I have this idea for a new company, but I'm not sure if I should tell you because you might go do it. I say, look, you need to be talking about your new business all of the time. You have to constantly be sharing the vision with other people because you never know who might help you and what kind of feedback you might get. I mean, that's why I love going around and even speaking to groups like this, because you never know who can possibly help you in the future. And if your idea is so simple that anyone can just do it by you telling them about it, then it's probably not a defensible idea anyways. But when you're sharing, when you're telling people about the vision, about where you see an industry going, you shouldn't just be sharing that vision. You should be selling the execution. And let me explain. One of the early investors in Blackboard was Carlyle Group. Some of you may work with Carlyle today. You know them well. They're big private equity firm investors, primarily in the military-industrial complex. Back in the day. Now, when in 1999, when the big investment bubble was happening, I mean, everyone was getting into startups, and Carlyle started investing there as well. And I was very fortunate. I was a young CEO. I was 24, 25. They invested in Blackboard, and I got invited to their annual CEO retreat in Napa Valley. And I remember going, and we sat in a room with all these other CEOs. I was by far the youngest one by probably half some of the other people's age there, and the Bushes were there, and James Baker, a very impressive group, and the CEOs were going around introducing themselves. I remember the first CEO sat up, and he said, I run this company, and you know those missiles that were dropping on Iraq? This is during the first Iraq War. We make the casing for those missiles that we're dropping in Iraq. Next guy stands up, says, I'm CEO of this company, and you know how there was a big video that went around, a missile literally flew into a house through a window and blew up the house? Well, we make the guidance systems for those missiles so they can literally fly into a building through a window and blow up the building. Third guy stand up, said, I'm CEO of this company. You know how you're able to watch that missile fly into the house through the window? We make these special cameras for missiles so that you can actually watch and perfectly guide them to then blow up the house. I stood up, I said, hi, my name's Michael Chasen. I run Blackboard. We put courses online. I think I'm in the wrong room. And I didn't know what I was doing there that weekend. That was a big wine and golf weekend. I didn't drink wine. I didn't play golf. I didn't necessarily have a lot in common with a lot of the other people there. But nonetheless, since I had nothing to do, I spent my time going around and just introducing myself. Hi, I'm Michael Chasen. I'm starting Blackboard. We develop software to put teaching and learning online. Hi, we're Mike Chasen. We're developing software to help put classes on the web. And then I started running into other people at the conference and said, you know what? Interesting, we actually have large training programs. Like when something changes, we actually have to roll it out to tens of thousands of people around the world. Could your software be used for corporate training? And I said, well, that wasn't why we started the company, but certainly our software could be used for corporate training. That's an interesting idea. We even ran into people who were there in the government that said, you know what, a lot of the people in our army that we're taking and putting now overseas in Iraq, they have to stop their school. Could you use your software to continue teaching when they're in the field? And out of the discussions from that meeting and several other ones we had, we ended up starting a corporate government group that today does over $70 million in revenue. And in fact, interesting enough, when the second Iraq war invasion took place, first of all, a bunch of schools in the whole area in other countries all shut down for the day, but then they were all running actually online on Blackboard. And equally so, a large number of our military is actually able to continue their educational process while they're in the field, continuing their classes on Blackboard technology. And Blackboard technology also is used for corporations to distribute their corporate training for everything from on-the-job training to regulation changes that are made. And all of that came because I was constantly talking about the company with a group of people that you would otherwise think I would have nothing in common with. And while I was sharing the vision, we were also getting ideas and figuring out, hey, well, wait a minute, this is a whole area we hadn't thought of, and it opened up a huge opportunity for the company.